I'm not going to bore you to the whole unboxing deal that many do on YouTube. Already got everything out just to kind of show you what it all comes with. Obviously the camera, a couple of screen protectors to clean the windshield. We're not going to be using that. Rear camera, a couple of little knickknacks, and I'm going to go ahead and get the hardwire kit connection wiring. I forgot it in the vehicle, so I'll go ahead and get that and then show you what that looks like. Here's the hardwire kit. Here's the box of it. Pretty self-explanatory. One is ground, one's constant 12 volt, and one's accessory. So nothing really too crazy on it. Looks like they already provided everything. It kind of depends if this vehicle takes this kind of fuse. If not, we're gonna have to replace it. So go ahead and start taking everything apart and then show you how to wire this thing up. First thing I pretty much did is to kind of plan out how I'm gonna wire the rear camera. This whole centerpiece right here just kind of pops off, and obviously I already got this thing kind of pulled out, so that's where the wire is going to go through. The only thing that's kind of a pain to run is the wire inside the boot, but that shouldn't be too bad. Just use a coat hanger. So I mean, we're pretty much already in the back right here, so it's pretty easy to kind of mount there. But overall, that's the first thing we took off, and then we're going to go ahead and run it all the way to the front. We're going to go ahead and start running the rear camera wiring all the way to the location. The first step you got to do is pretty much obviously pop this off, and then you're going to use a coat hanger, get it all the way down there, and that's where it should come out. And then once you get it inserted, go ahead and tape up your one end of the harness. That way we can feed it all the way down here, and then it's going to mate with the male side of the camera itself. Now that you've seen how to run it to the boot, go ahead and wrap the whole harness at least all the way down to where it's going to meet the metal area, and wrap it around with electrical tape. That's just a precautionary thing. I mean, you don't really technically have to, but I always like to do it anyway. And then once you get up here, just kind of zip tie it in place, because we're going to go like this right here, and then zip tie it. That way we will have enough slack for the camera itself. So we're going to go ahead and start running everything to the front, and then we're going to mount the camera, plug it in, and then test everything out. Now for this camera, it did have a red wire. I believe that's for if you want it to be a reverse camera, if you don't have a factory one. I believe that's what it's for. If that's the case, you will hook this up to a reverse signal, which is one of your reverse lamps, signal wire that gets power whenever you put it in reverse. But since this one already has a factory one, doesn't really need one, so we went ahead and snipped that off and pretty much not use it. So I went ahead and pretty much took the wire right here. You're gonna go to this little crack and pretty much tuck it in between it, and it's gonna go behind here. So you can just put your finger, kind of like pull it down, and then push the wire. As you can see from there, I stopped in there for now since I need to go to that area anyway. But we're gonna go ahead and keep it running to the front, and then we still need to hook up the front camera and power it up, and we should be done after that. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep running that and then show you what it looks like after. So we got everything ran from the back all the way to the front. Go ahead and do a stopping point right here. We're gonna go ahead and run the hardwire kit for that'll go in the fuse box. So we're gonna look for a constant and a switch 12 volt. That way the parking mode would work whenever the vehicle is off, and obviously turn on whenever the vehicle is running. So for this particular step, I went ahead and took off the rearview mirror cover. To take this off, literally is just pretty much this is how it sits in there. So all you have to do is pretty much just pop off. As you can see, it's only held by 2 clips. This is only held by a couple of clips from the back, so nothing crazy. Pops off really easy. So, and I went ahead and used my Dremel to kind of notch off a little bit of the spot right here, so the wire has somewhere to go to. That way it's not dangling on the side, so it's going to be a little bit more hidden, so just for a cleaner look. For the accessory, you're going to have to run the accessory wire all the way to this plug right here, which this cover just kind of pops off. Nothing but clips. You're going to be using this purple wire right here. That's the ignition on signal. So it's not going to have any power whenever you turn the vehicle off, but it will have power whenever you turn it on. So just go ahead and pop this off. You don't need to take it off all the way, and then tap the red wire to that wire right here. Now make sure when you wire the accessory signal to here, make sure you have a fuse that's 15 amp, just to protect that circuit from getting damaged in an event something goes wrong with the camera. Then you're going to run it along the harness. You kind of have to pull this and then zip tie the harness on that, and then it should come out right here. And then once you get to here, you're going to go ahead and zip tie everything neatly. Right now it looks like that nobody cared, kind of, but obviously I'm still in the wiring process, so we're going to go ahead and clean that up. As mentioned before, the 12 volt power constant that I used is this one right here next to that number 10, which is F21, which is not used, but it is a constant power. So I did end up using a tap fuse, put 2 10s in there, that way it'll have power. Put the ground right here, out of sight, out of mind, and then just kind of neatly tuck everything in so you'll never even see it. So other than that, you are pretty much done for this side. I'm going to go zip tie this one real quick just to make it look a little bit nicer. So this is pretty much how everything should look. Got everything secured, nothing's loose, everything's secured, tied. This one's like the intelligent box deal, so if it gets down to voltage, it'll just shut down power. That way it still allows you to be able to start the vehicle. So I'm just kind of securing the back camera. I went ahead and kind of just cut out a notch right here. I'm going to clean that up real quick. That way the wire has somewhere to kind of lean on. That way it's not getting pinched. But so far that's what I have. Don't mount this yet until you have everything closed. That way you can see where to mount it. So we'll go ahead and notch that out. Put the panel back. And then we'll go ahead and mount the actual rear camera to this panel. So it is nighttime pretty much out here. This part is kind of bugging me. I know I had it wired like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and end up drilling a small hole. That way the wire is gonna go through it. I just didn't like how it's showing this much wire hanging in there, so I'm gonna have it going through like that, just to kind of make it look a little bit more professional. Looks a lot better like that. So little grommet, way better. That is much more professional looking. I like this one better compared to the wire kind of looping like that. Kind of looks funky. So like I said, it is nighttime here, but that one's just kind of bugging me, so I ended up fixing it anyway. Here's what the shock sensor deal is operating now. Suburban is off. I just kind of tapped on the glass just to make it kind of sense the shock. So right now it's recording. So you can see it's recording on all fours. So that's actually pretty cool. But anyway, I believe it stops at about 3 minutes. And then after that it'll just shut down. So it's kind of cool. But overall, pretty much the whole install is done. Pretty easy to install. Here's the camera right there. He has the view of 360.